Okay, and who remember this? That was a disaster day. And whole New York was broke, of course. Ottawa was even worse because it was the hottest summer, and we actually lost our food. The refrigerator was not working. What's the root of that disaster? Because in this best developed area of the world, we lost power. Blackout for 2 days. Anyone remember that? Please raise your hand. Wow, now you wake up. Good, thanks. So, what is the root behind in this best developed world? Is that because the grid was bad? No, grid was perfect. Or the engineers were running that is not smart enough, no, they're good. The problem was the data. 2 billion data behind that. And 10 years ago, there was no technology could handle that. There was no concept of big data. Today, a famous professor, Kim Berman in Cornell, he wants to be the hero, save the American state lady by doing the real-time big data. To do that job, he needs some tools. We have the stand running fast like sport car, which called real-time analytical as a jargon, we ignore that. And we have this thing called big data running as fast as they want to, not as fast as I want to. The goal is going to have something like this. And Walmart actually do that real-time big data job well. What we do, it's a big enough innovation. What Vasco does is just the type of the real-time big data. We do 1,000 times faster data replication. Theoretically, actually 10 million times faster. We use this number. So I use the disaster to get your attention and wake you up, but the real-time big data also has immediate revenue impact. For instance, to the Facebook, we'll talk more about customer validation segment. So what's happening right now in data center, the network itself, with full respect to Cisco, they do gradient project, not only sales, but good product as well. But the whole thing was designed for internet, not for data center. Look at this. What a mess. Our solution is we have the optical cross-connection, top-of-rack equipment and software. We copy the data in optical domain, in speed. Currently, you copy data here in the server. So we freeze up the server and switch, speed up the whole network, make your server better, and also your switch better. We save 90% of your power. And we do that job. Just focus on doing that job. So we have, in this area, we have a group of patents. Some of them is directly related. We talked with the academic society, like the Kim Berman. He is our super angel investor. Invested 250,000 and promised to commit more than $1 million. So that's, even for a rich guy, it's some money. So we also talk with customers, including Microsoft, IBM, Bloomberg. I use these 3 samples. IBM researcher saw one of our published, so they sent proactively talk with us about our technology, because this is a deep innovation. If the Facebook is a tsunami kill people, we are the earthquake in the middle of the Pacific. So we got the money from we got reference from Microsoft, and that's how I got my super angel money, because he recommended me to his supervisor of PhD. I talked with that guy, and he gave us money with only 10 minutes conversation, and he talked with, you should talk with my head, he's a great guy in Microsoft. I said, well, as a matter of fact, he recommended me to you. So we got Microsoft as reference, IBM, Bloomberg is very excited. They promised to be our first customer when the product is ready. So that's a reference we can immediately talk with. So this is a market about a market very good about incubate billion-dollar firms, like with Claudia's jargon, it's unicorns. So this market actually do not incubate some big unicorn like Facebook, but they do incubate more billion-dollar unicorns than the customer market. So even in a market dominated by Cisco, you see the very well-focused company with 1%, 1 billion, 5%, 7 billion. We focus on the data replication. We do that one good job, and we are more than 5 billion already. So the first market, go-to-market strategy, we carefully pick up this market to be 100% compatible with the current Hadoop. Hadoop is just like Windows of PC. Hadoop is Windows of the big data. We're 100% compatible with them. And they choose the market, affect the revenue of Facebook, Twitter, etc. directly. If they copy data slower, it's lost revenue. And then we got big brother strategy. One is going with Chesio, who is already OEM by IBM. And we can go with the Nova to the China market. So this market is getting more hot. The technology, I want to say something to Nortel, because the technology was invested in the year 1995, 20 years ago, to initial. How visionary Nortel was, and how bad we lose that already. So we are in the 19 years of the 20 big thing. Now they are investing in, someone investing in the switch, optical, someone in this technology of the complicated topology. But we do all of them. So we got the funding from the Super Angel. We're going to finish the proof of the concept October, November. We are seeking 2 to 3 million to do the piloting lab, and 3 partners accepted to offer a trial lab for us. Here's our team. Myself, I'm a Cornell MBA, and I'm a former executive. My partner, Dr. Kim Wai, please, Kim Wai, the CTO. And we have the Dr. Kim Berman, he's our super angel on the board. Someone may ask why this good technology comes from us. Well, the fact is we stand in the middle of the intersection. This guy is a big data system, very good about networking, complicated math, and also the physical of the optics. And that's our slogan, 1,000 times faster data replication. Ready for questions?
Can you tell us a little bit about your full-time team?
Leo's question is about what is our team. We have 5 full-time employees right now, and 3 part-time, 2 volunteer. We are growing, we are hiring because we get money back. So the most important guy, of course, are those 3 guys. This one knows the data system. He is actually the best about reliable distribution system. His methodology, mathematical methodology is behind everybody, including IBM, Google, Microsoft, just name it. And also, his software is running New York Stock Exchange right now. Go back to check your bank account. You lose some money, talk with him. I'm the former Huawei executive. I got a very unique experience in that organization to design a huge system from scratch. That's unique. And Dr. Kim Wai-Liang, please stand up. He's a PhD from MIT. He knows some physics, I believe.
Further questions from our panelists? Questions from the floor? So is there anybody else who's in a similar space whom you know?
Yes, we talked about the potential competitors. The investment was quiet in the year 1995 when Nortel initiated this kind of the optical hypergraph research. Hypergraph as a mathematics was invented in 1970. French guy, Claude. So this one now got in Boston, they got a lot of money, but they spent too much money about switch. Switch is wrong. The world is wrong. It cannot fix this issue. This one spent again money on the switch. This one is actually Microsoft. They did a good job, 2008, to do a complicated butterfly cube. Well, I don't even know what it means, but just forget. It's a example. So this is an industrial trial from many guys. They try to change the industry, but they do that job with silicon. Silicon is not correct answer. You got optical, mathematics, and software. And this one is actually Juniper. They spend money on that, they failed. Eventually turn back to the silicon. I talked with Juniper CTO, Pradeep. So he's with our vision. We even convinced the VP engineering of Juniper, with money he will join the core team. Yes, sir.
I understand that the Q fabric was actually shipped to many customers. Is that true?
It's a great question. The question is, Q fabric is shipped. Yes. The Q fabric vision used to be an optical to replace current, we call span leaves span. The current Q fabric with the name as a Q fabric, but it's not Q, and it's not fabric inside either. It's just a big channel with a lot of the span switch inside.
It's a direct mesh connection.
It's not, unfortunately.
Okay.
They used to, they wanted it to be. Yeah, but have to give up that because they use optical switch. Optical switch is too slow.
Sorry, what switch?
Optical switch is too slow. 25 micron or something, it's too slow.
Optical MEM switch?
MEM switch or piezo switch, those kind of jargon.
It doesn't work.
It just ignore that, it's too slow.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
No, I was just wondering, you mentioned Juniper, but clearly from your data, the gorilla is Cisco. So do you know what they're doing in this space today?
Cisco, as the Cisco manager said, is very good sales organization. I don't know. It's definitely my fault, but not their fault for sure.
I would advise you not to say it if you want them to buy you.
It's definitely on the choice. As a realistic entrepreneur, I'm ready to sell the business with a good check. But if you ask my own vision, we want to grow here, Ottawa to be a good one. Get a lot of that.
Yes.
One last question. Maybe I'll ask the last question. You're asking for $2 million. Can you talk a little bit about your plans for that and what you hope to accomplish?
So the question is about with $2 million, what you can do? Well, it's so true. With $2 million, you can't do too much. So we have this angel round, seed round, A round, and BC round. With this 2 million, we're going to have a piloting ready product. Let's say, namely 40 by 40 boards to do that. Suppose up to 1,600 servers in our data center. We have goal to run this in the lab, not directly in Bloomberg, even they promise. So likely we have 3 candidates. One is Canadian National Lab, another one is Cornell. Well, Cornell maybe is not that famous of doing best computing science, but they are. For instance, the IBM brand is actually done right now in Cornell. So.
Thank you very much, Dan.
Very good.